You still eat fruit every day, don't you? A banana in the morning, a glass of orange juice after lunch, a handful of grapes while watching TV at night. And you believe you're doing the right thing. Because ever since you were young, you were told, eat more fruit and you'll stay healthy. But if that's true, why do your legs feel more tired each morning? Why does it take longer to get out of bed? Why are your knees and ankles growing stiff without any clear reason? I once had a patient who said something I'll never forget. She told me, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I walk every day. The only thing I've changed is I've started eating more fruit. But strangely enough, that's also when her legs began to weaken, day by day. And that's why we need to talk, because not every fruit is right for the body after 60, especially when it's eaten at the wrong time, or in larger amounts than your body can handle. Pineapple is one of those fruits many people love. It smells amazing. It's sweet, tangy, and often praised for helping with digestion. And truthfully, if you're younger, with no joint or circulation issues, a few slices of pineapple each week probably won't hurt. But if you're over 60 and you've made pineapple part of your daily routine, thinking it's a healthy habit, you might want to hear this story. I once had a patient named Linda, age 68. She told me, every morning I eat a few pieces of pineapple to cleanse my body. But lately, my knees have been hurting. It's hard to stand up, and my legs feel heavy when I walk. I figured it was just aging, but now I'm not so sure. After a long talk, we realized something important. The only thing she'd changed in the last 3 months was adding pineapple to her breakfast. Here's why that matters. Pineapple has a high level of natural acid. When eaten on an empty stomach, that acid can irritate the lining of your joints, especially if you already have mild inflammation or early arthritis. The result? Your knees become more sensitive. They take longer to recover. And you start feeling that deep, nagging stiffness when you stand. There's another factor too. Pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain. In younger folks, bromelain can help break down protein. But in older adults, especially those taking blood thinners or heart medications, bromelain may increase the risk of bruising, internal bleeding, or poor circulation in the legs. You might not notice anything after a day or two. But if you eat it every morning, especially on an empty stomach, your body could be experiencing a slow, silent reaction, one that makes it harder for blood to flow, muscles to get oxygen, and joints to heal. So what can you do? You don't need to give up pineapple completely. But if your knees often hurt, if your legs feel weak or tired, or if you're on heart or blood-thinning medication, try removing pineapple for 2 weeks and see how your body responds. Most importantly, don't eat it on an empty stomach, and don't make it a daily habit. You can still enjoy that sweet tart flavor. Just be mindful of the timing, the amount, and what your body's telling you. Do you eat pineapple every day? Have you noticed any changes in your legs or joints? Share your experience below. It might help someone else figure out their own body too. And if you're on medication, be sure to double check with your doctor. Bananas are one of the most popular fruits out there. They're easy to eat, convenient, full of potassium, and almost always labeled as healthy. But here's what many people over 60 don't realize. When bananas are eaten at the wrong time, in the wrong way or simply too often, they can quietly start affecting your legs. I remember a patient named Richard, age 71. He had prediabetes but worked hard to stay healthy. Every morning, after a light breakfast, he'd eat a banana. Sometimes, after a workout, he'd grab another one. He believed bananas would help with potassium and prevent cramps. But one morning, he told me, "My legs feel heavy. My ankles are a bit swollen. Even short walks leave me tired." At first, he chalked it up to aging, but things started to shift once he stopped eating bananas for a while. You see, bananas are high in natural sugar and fast-digesting starch. That's not a big deal for younger, more active folks. But in older adults, especially those with slower metabolism or pre-diabetes, this sugar can cause quick spikes in blood glucose. And when blood sugar goes up, then crashes, your body may react with low-level inflammation, water retention, ankle swelling, muscle fatigue, and a drop in energy. There's something else too. The riper the banana, the higher the sugar. And if you often eat bananas in the evening, when your body is winding down, that sugar is more likely to convert into fat and cause bloating or water retention. So, are bananas bad? No. But only when you understand your body can you enjoy bananas wisely. If you love bananas, try this instead. Choose bananas that are just ripe, firm, without dark spots. Pair them with a little protein, like a handful of walnuts or some Greek yogurt. This helps slow sugar absorption. Avoid eating bananas at night. They're better after breakfast or lunch. Do you eat bananas every day? If you've noticed swelling or unexplained leg fatigue, try skipping them for a few days. And listen to what your body tells you. Grapes are sweet, refreshing, and easy to snack on, especially in the evening. Many older adults enjoy a small bowl of grapes after dinner to satisfy a little craving. But what most people don't realize is that behind that gentle sweetness may be a chain reaction that quietly stirs up trouble in your joints, especially in your legs and feet. I once had a patient named Teresa, age 73. She came in complaining about a dull ache in her big toe joint. Sometimes it was red and puffy. Other times, it just throbbed lightly or felt strangely numb. She thought it might be from walking too much, but the story was more complex than that. After digging into her daily habits, I discovered that every night before bed, she'd eat a small bowl of red grapes. They're good for the heart, she told me, and they help with antioxidants. What she didn't know was she was in the early stages of pre-gout. Here's the hidden problem. Grapes are high in fructose, a type of natural sugar. In the body, fructose gets converted into uric acid. And in older adults, especially those with slower metabolism or a history of gout risk, that uric acid can start to build up in the joints. Most often it shows up in the toes, ankles, or knees, causing inflammation, swelling, and pain. And the tricky part? You may not feel it right away. You could eat grapes for months with no issue. Until one morning, your big toe screams when it hits the floor. By then, it's hard to connect the dots. Now here's something even more surprising. Raisins, which seem like a healthy alternative, are actually worse. When grapes are dried, their fructose becomes highly concentrated. Just a few raisins can equal an entire bowl of fresh grapes. And because they're tiny and easy to snack on, we tend to eat too many without realizing it. So if you enjoy grapes, here are some simple tips. Stick to just a few grapes at a time and only after a full meal. Avoid them completely if you're experiencing joint pain or inflammation, especially in the feet. Minimize raisins, or better yet, swap them out for berries like blueberries or raspberries, which are lower in sugar and don't increase uric acid. Do you snack on grapes in the evening? If you've noticed joint pain, especially in your toes or ankles, try skipping grapes for a couple of weeks and see how your body responds. Sometimes it's the smallest fruit that makes the biggest difference. On a hot day, few things feel better than a cold slice of watermelon. It's sweet, refreshing, full of water, and it feels light on the stomach, like it's cleansing your body. Many older adults believe watermelon is one of the healthiest fruits out there because, well, it's mostly water, right? But here's the thing. That lightness can be deceptive, tricking you into eating more than your body needs. And the result? You may start to feel it in your legs. I once met a man named Richard, age 70. He walked every afternoon, rain or shine. But recently, he noticed something different. His knees began to tire out faster. His ankles felt heavy, especially after about 30 minutes of walking. There was no injury, no change in shoes. But by the time he got home, even stepping up a curb made him feel a little off balance. So I asked what he usually ate after his walk. He smiled and said, "Just watermelon, Doc. It's refreshing and guilt-free." Here's the problem. Watermelon has a very high glycemic index. That means the sugar in it absorbs quickly, causing a sharp spike in your blood sugar. Then, shortly after, your levels crash just as fast. That swing can lead to fatigue, muscle weakness, and poor circulation in the legs. For people with slower metabolism or poor circulation, especially after 60, it can even cause light swelling around the ankles or knees. What makes it tricky is you don't feel full. One slice turns into two, turns into half a melon. And because it's often eaten in the late afternoon, when your metabolism is slowing down, your body has a harder time processing the sugars, which can lead to water retention in your legs. So if you love watermelon, you don't have to give it up. But be mindful of these 3 simple guidelines. Avoid eating watermelon after 5 p.m. Keep it to about 1 small bowl, 7 ounces, per serving. Don't eat it when you're tired or just before bed. If you're craving something light after dinner, try a few slices of papaya or a handful of berries instead. They're easier on your blood sugar and your legs. Have you ever noticed your legs feeling heavier after eating watermelon? Try changing the habit for just 3 days. You might be surprised how much of a difference it makes. Oranges. Just hearing the word sounds healthy, doesn't it? Rich in vitamin C. Boosts immunity. Good for the liver. Great for the skin. Most older adults truly believe that a glass of fresh orange juice in the morning is one of the simplest ways to stay healthy. But here's something most people never consider. If you drink it at the wrong time or in the wrong way, that very glass of orange juice might be quietly making your joints ache and your legs swell. I once had a patient named Linda, age 68. She didn't smoke, she ate well, and she loved fresh orange juice. Every morning, about 20 minutes before breakfast, she drank a full glass of fresh squeezed OJ. At first, it seemed fine. But after about 2 months, she began to feel a dull ache in her shoulders and wrists. Joints that used to feel smooth started to feel stiff, especially in the morning. There was no injury, no sign of infection, just a sense that her body was slowing down in subtle, frustrating ways. After a long conversation, I suggested she stop drinking orange juice for 1 week. And you know what? Her symptoms started to fade. Here's why. Oranges contain both citric acid and natural sugars. For most younger, healthy bodies, that's no problem. But for older adults, especially those with early joint inflammation, that acid can irritate the lining of the joints. And the sugar? When absorbed quickly, especially on an empty stomach, it can quietly trigger low-level inflammation in the body. This can lead to swelling in the joints or heaviness in the legs. Many people also make the mistake of replacing water with orange juice, thinking they're adding vitamins. But what they're actually doing is adding more acid and sugar without realizing it. If you enjoy oranges, that's perfectly fine. Just try these 3 simple adjustments. Eat whole orange slices rather than drinking juice. Avoid consuming oranges on an empty stomach, especially first thing in the morning. Limit to 1 orange per day, and don't use it as your all-day beverage. Do you drink orange juice every morning? If you've been dealing with shoulder pain, wrist stiffness, or unexplained swelling in your legs, try pausing for 5 days and see how your body responds. Sometimes the answer is right there, waiting to be noticed. Green apples, a mild acid with not so mild effects. Apples have always been a symbol of good health. We've all heard the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But not all apples are the same, and not every time is the right time to eat them, especially green apples. These crisp, slightly tart apples are a favorite among many, often praised for being lower in sugar and better for blood sugar. But did you know, if eaten at the wrong time, green apples may quietly cause nighttime leg cramps, aching calves, or even restless sleep? I once met a man named Robert, age 73. Every night, about 30 minutes before bed, he'd eat a green apple. Helps clean the mouth and feels light on the stomach, he said. But recently, over the last 3 weeks, he started waking up with painful calf cramps. One night, the cramp was so sharp he had to jump out of bed, drenched in sweat. He hadn't changed his routine. He stayed active. He drank enough water. His meals were consistent. The only change? He'd swapped his usual dessert for a green apple at night, trying to be healthier, as he put it. Here's what was happening. Green apples contain a mild acid called malic acid, which gives them that signature tang. In younger adults, it's usually harmless. But when eaten on an empty stomach, especially late at night, it can lightly stimulate the nervous system and affect blood flow. Even though green apples have less sugar, they still cause a small rise in blood sugar, followed by a quick dip. This swing can trigger muscle sensitivity or even cramping, especially in older adults whose systems are more delicate. And when balance in the body slips, even just a little, leg cramps can be the result. So if you love apples, there's no need to give them up. Just keep these simple tips in mind. Avoid green apples on an empty stomach, especially first thing in the morning or late at night. Eat them alongside a full meal, like a lunchtime dessert. Or switch to red apples, which are a bit sweeter, lower in acid, and easier on digestion. Have you been getting nighttime leg cramps without a clear reason? Try skipping green apples for a few days and see if your sleep improves. Sometimes, one small change is all it takes to rest more peacefully and wake up with stronger legs. Mango, sweet to the taste. But the aftermath can be bitter. There's no denying it. Mango is delicious, fragrant, soft, naturally sweet. It's the kind of fruit that's easy to love, and even easier to eat every day. For many older adults, a little mango each day sounds like the perfect balance of treat and nutrition. But if you've been experiencing tingling in your feet, numbness in your toes, or that strange pins and needles feeling, mango might not be the friend you think it is. I remember a woman named Linda, age 70. She had mild peripheral neuropathy, occasional numbness, and crawling sensations in her legs. Nothing too severe. But once summer arrived, she began eating mango nearly every day, sometimes fresh, sometimes blended into smoothies. Just a few weeks later, she came back saying her foot numbness had gotten worse, especially in the mornings when stepping out of bed. She thought maybe it was due to the weather, or not moving enough. But when we reviewed her daily meals, one thing stood out clearly. She was eating mango far too often. Here's what's going on. Mango is loaded with natural sugar. In younger people, the body adjusts easily. But in older adults, especially those with prediabetes, poor circulation, or nerve issues, frequent blood sugar spikes can make symptoms worse. That sugar surge can silently increase inflammation in the body, which affects the delicate nerve tissue in your feet and legs. The result? More numbness, more burning, and more instability when you walk. Now, this doesn't mean you have to give up mango forever, but it does mean you need to enjoy it a little more wisely. Stick to just 1-2 small slices at a time, not a whole mango. Pair it with a healthy fat like a few walnuts, a small spoon of peanut butter, or a few slices of avocado to slow sugar absorption. Avoid eating mango on an empty stomach and skip it in the evening when blood sugar is harder to control. Do you eat mango regularly? Try cutting back, even just by half, and see if your sleep improves, or if your feet feel lighter in the morning. Sometimes it only takes a small shift to feel a world of difference. Fruits that support. Stronger legs after 60. Here's the good news. You don't have to give up fruit to protect your legs. You just need to choose the right ones and eat them the right way. There's a group of fruits that are especially friendly for people over 60. They're low in sugar, anti-inflammatory, and great for circulation. Some of the best include blueberries and raspberries, rich in antioxidants that protect tiny blood vessels in the legs. Avocado, packed with healthy fats that help reduce inflammation and boost vitamin absorption. Pears, gentle on the stomach, high in fiber, and lower in sugar than many other fruits. Papaya, easy to digest and naturally rich in anti-inflammatory enzymes. But it's not just what you eat. It's also when you eat it and what you eat it with. Many people snack on fruit by itself. But after 60, your body processes sugar differently. Pairing fruit with a little protein or fat helps stabilize your blood sugar and prevents fatigue, cramps, or energy crashes after eating. Here's a simple one-day fruit plan that's tasty and supports muscle strength. Morning, a small bowl of blueberries or raspberries mixed with oatmeal and unsweetened yogurt. This combo offers steady energy and supports circulation in the legs. Lunchtime, half an avocado served with shredded boiled chicken or a hard-boiled egg. It keeps you full without heaviness and is excellent for joint support. Evening, a few slices of ripe papaya, topped with chia seeds or pumpkin seeds. This light dessert promotes restful sleep, reduces inflammation, and helps prevent nighttime leg cramps. You can start this today. Just a few small changes can help you wake up feeling lighter and walk farther with less pain. And if you know someone who's still eating mango, bananas, or watermelon every night, thinking it's healthy, share this video with them. You might help them avoid a painful leg cramp at midnight or a dangerous misstep on the stairs. Not every fruit is good for you. Once you've passed the age of 60, your body changes. And that means your eating habits need to change too. So many people eat fruit every day, believing they're doing the right thing. But still, they feel more tired. Their legs feel heavier. They struggle to stand up or live with joint pain that just won't go away. Together in this video, we've walked through that journey. From the common beliefs that pineapple aids digestion, bananas are great for the heart, or orange juice boosts immunity, to realizing that even the healthiest foods have two sides, especially when eaten the wrong way, or at the wrong time. The good news is, the solution isn't complicated. All it takes is recognizing the fruits that trigger inflammation, swelling, or blood sugar crashes, knowing your alternatives: berries, papaya, avocado, pear, eaten in the right amounts at the right times, and most importantly, learning to listen to your body every single day. If something in this video made you pause and rethink your habits, then let it start with your very next fruit bowl. Because one small change could bring a big difference in how you move each morning. And if you have friends or family in this same season of life, don't keep this to yourself. Share this video with them. You might be the reason someone avoids an aching knee or a sleepless, cramp-filled night. Finally, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss what's next. Because in the upcoming video, we'll be talking about 5 vegetables that seem healthy, but may be silently weakening your legs over time. We're here to help you stay strong, not by fighting aging, but by growing wiser alongside it.